Ready? Yep.
It's World Down Syndrome Day, and Downing Street is welcoming people for our celebration. Awareness and recognition of Down syndrome may have improved, but is the government doing enough to actually move towards acceptance, inclusion and equality?
Having a learning disability doesn't matter.
Everyone needs to have a voice, no matter where you are.
Giving people with Down syndrome the opportunity to tell their own stories.
Don't let anything or Down syndrome hold you back. Do what you want to do.
Well, on that note, I've always wanted to interview a government minister. So I've come to put some questions to Health Minister Maria Caulfield. The Prime Minister has said that one of the ways to cut taxes is by getting people off disability benefits. People saw that as you demonising them. How do you respond?
Well, I wouldn't say that that's what we're trying to do. We want to support people into work, and I heard today very loud and clear from lots of young people with Down syndrome how important getting into work is. In Parliament, the Speaker has already taken on some young people with Down syndrome to work in Parliament, and we want that to be an example. So benefits will be needed to support people, but absolutely we should be encouraging people to into work, and I'm hearing loud and clear from the community that actually we need to be doing more on that because people want to work and they struggle to get employers to take them on.
It's estimated that learning disabled people live 20 years less. What are you doing to improve this?
Well, one example in terms of healthcare that we're doing is we're rolling out what's called the Oliver McGowan mandatory training, because whether it's Down syndrome, autism, a learning disability, people say to me that when they go into the healthcare system, very often healthcare professionals aren't trained about learning disabilities. They don't know the various factors that influence people's health. They don't engage in the same way that they would with people without a disability. We absolutely need to change the culture of our health and social care system to be much more engaged.
We've been reporting about children not getting the help they need at school because they are waiting years for a diagnosis for things like autism. How are you going to make sure this changes?
We've had a 50% increase in the number of referrals. So although we're putting more money into the system and we're doing more assessments, it's very, very hard to keep up with the pace of demand. And we are asking NHS England to look at the waiting list in the same way we would do for physical health. So if you were waiting for a hip operation, we'd look at the waiting list and see how we can get people through the system much quicker. We will be doing something similar for people waiting for autism assessments in particular, because we know people are waiting too long.
As we come up to an election, your party has been clear it is anti-woke, but people like me with a learning disability, it feels like that means you are against inclusivity. Why is being kind and inclusive such a bad thing?
Well, I absolutely don't think being kind and inclusive is a bad thing, and I think what we're doing as a government, and Liam Fox was the Conservative MP who brought the Act of Parliament to Parliament. The whole point of the legislation that we as a government supported is that wherever you are accessing services, whether it's with housing, whether it's with work, whether it's with education, that you get the same chances as anyone else.
Are you telling the truth, or is that an excuse?
Well, I think you can look at our actions. It's not just what we're saying. The guidance that we initially produced, the advisors we have from the Down syndrome community said it wasn't strong enough, particularly around employment and education. So we're refreshing that, and we'll be going out to a public consultation very soon. So we are changing things now. We're not waiting for an election.
Learning disabled people are one of the hardest groups to reach. How about you engage me and my community now by telling me when the vote is going to be?
If only I knew. That is only in the gift of the Prime Minister. So he will let us all know when he's ready. One of the fascinating facts we heard this morning at number 10 was actually there is in Spain a member of Parliament there who has Down syndrome. So I would encourage anyone with a disability and anyone who's Down syndrome to get involved in politics. So the general election, whenever it comes, is a perfect opportunity to grill all politicians or stand yourself to make that difference.
So, maybe one day soon we'll be able to vote for our very own MP with a learning disability. There were certainly some potential candidates here today.
Please vote for me.